good to see you all. Thank you so much for joining in on today's session. I'm Laura Schuler, and this is another episode of Finding the Details. We're just going to give it a minute here to allow everybody to get into the room. But while we do that, in the meantime, I'll just give you a bit of a breakdown of today's presentation. We're going to start off with just talking about some theory, power play theory, concepts, ideas, and then we're going to jump into some video, and we will follow that up with some drill sharing. And then, of course, at the end, I will take some question and answers. And just a reminder, too, that if you do have any questions, please put them in the Q&A box, and I will be happy to try to answer any questions that you might have. So we are now just about a minute past the hour. So, and I think we have everybody in the room. So it looks like we are good to get going. So again, thanks so much, everybody, for joining in. I hope everybody's continuing to be well and that everyone's staying healthy. Today, we're going to be talking about the power play. And in particular, we're going to be talking about the importance of getting the penalty kill to move in order to generate different types of look or attack options that your power play is going to have. So when I take a look at a power play and what makes up a good power play, for me, a good power play unit is comprised of people who really understand penalty killing strategies and have a good understanding of how the penalty kill is moving to defend against them. So a lot of times when I take my power play, one of the first things that I'll ask them to do is to look to see how is that penalty kill rotating against us? How are they defending against us? So do they look like their shape is more pendulum-like, meaning that does the first penalty killer basically try to stay in line with the motion of the puck, while their secondary layer of support right here is locking the middle of the ice? So the motion here really looks on the left side of our frame here, very pendulum-like, or is the motion on the penalty kill more piston-like, meaning that as one penalty killer comes out to challenge the puck, and once the puck is moved, does a new penalty killer now come out to challenge the movement of that puck while the former penalty killer retreats back to the middle? So that motion is very piston-like, forwards and backwards. Because really, again, what you're able to do with your power play is going to be dependent upon what type of motion the opposing team is using to defend against you. And so the second thing that we try to do, if you want your team to try to figure out what type of a penalty kill rotation your opponent is using against you, the second thing we tell our team to do is to break the plane. So what does that mean? That means that when we move the puck basically low to high up to our quarterback, we want our quarterback to be able to pull that puck in towards the middle of the ice past the mid lane. Okay, and as we do that, now we're going to look, what is the shape of the penalty kill? Do they get into more of a diamond-like structure where their subsequent rotation becomes very piston-like, right, forward and backwards? Or are they becoming stacked, like what's drawn here in this picture, and where their subsequent motion is now more pendulum-like? Because I can tell you, if they're in a stacked position and they're more pendulum-like, okay, what's not going to be there is probably any through passes from flanker to flanker. Okay, but what you are going to open up is the perimeter of the ice and all these different options that you're able to generate through your flankers on the side. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to look at some video here that's going to highlight all these different options here. And we're going to start with looking at shots that are coming from our flanker. Okay, so the very first one that we want to take a look at is when we break the plane, we're able to move the puck past that mid seam, right? What we're trying to do is we're trying to draw the top two penalty killers and catch them on one side of the ice or the other. That's going to open up the opposite side of the ice and allow for our flanker now to be able to come through this area with speed and potentially get a puck through to the net. So I have a couple of clips here that I want to be able to show you. So this first clip here, sorry, I'm going to take down my volume for us. Okay, this first clip here, we're watching Toronto. Okay, Toronto's in white. They're playing against Montreal, and Montreal is in red here. And right away, because this is off of a face-off, right? We already have the top two penalty killers that are locked onto the left side of the ice. So basically, what we want to try to do is attack this other side of the ice. We want to attack all of this white ice that's happening all the way over here. And so the Leafs are able to move that puck around the horn. And again, I'll show you because their motion is this pendulum like rotation right here with their top penalty killer and their middle penalty killer locking that middle. What isn't there is this through pass from flanker to flanker. Okay. But now what we do have is all of these options basically here happening off of our flanker. Okay. And what we want to basically try to create ultimately is this 2-on-1 here. All right. With, if I highlight between our flanker, our goal line player, and the strong side defender. And essentially, really, it's almost a 3-on-1 between the flanker, the bumper, and the goal line player. All right. And the second thing, Mitch Marner's such a smart hockey player. Okay. The second thing that this guy has now got to look for is what is this player taking away? And if we take a look at his stick, right now we can see that he's taking away any passes through to the bumper for a redirect. All right. The other thing is because we have an outside shot here, we have a clean lane to the net. So we can either move this puck down to the goal line player or we can take a shot. Obviously, in this case, because we have such a nice net front presence happening here, of course, we're going to shoot the puck and the puck's going to just rebound out here to the bumper for a second pretty good opportunity at net for Toronto. Although they didn't capitalize on it, it was still a pretty good look. So this next clip here, same thing. We're going to take a look at a shot that's going to come through from the flanker. We're going to watch New Jersey. Okay, they're in red here, playing against the Islanders. All right. So right away, when New Jersey ends up moving this puck up top to the quarterback, if I draw a line here, you can see that we have these two penalty killers are really kind of caught on the right side of the ice. So we want to take advantage of all of this white ice from the opposite side of where these two penalty killers are. So New Jersey's going to move that puck around the horn to the flanker in motion on the left side of the ice. And again, because their motion was this pendulum-like rotation, right? What isn't there is this through pass, right? Because the secondary layer of support here is doing a fantastic job of locking that middle and denying any kind of pucks going east to west, all right? But what we do have right here, if I'm going to highlight this, is again this 3-on-1 against this defender right here. So we got our between the 3-on-1 is between the flanker, the bumper, and the goal line player. Got a great net front presence happening right here, screening the goalie. You can see the screen. The goalie's trying to peer around the player's arm right here. And so our player right here is going to come in and take a good shot on net right there, and the goalie doesn't even have a chance. And I'm going to look at this in slow motion because there's another little detail that I want to point out. So when we have this 3-on-1, you can see the 3-on-1 happening right here between the flanker, the bumper, and the goal line player against this one defender. And you can see that this defender, the strong side D, their stick is taking away, if I back it up a little bit, okay, their stick is taking away this play into the middle for a redirect. So what does Jack Hughes has? The only thing he has, again, he's got an outside shot, just like Mitch Marner had. He has now the play to the net where he can go down to the goal line player, or he can take this shot. And the one thing that I also want to point out is just the importance of your goal line player. Okay, look at this guy right here on the screen. He's got the back of his heels right on top of the blue paint. And that's so important because it's going to push your goalie back into the net. And now we're going to open up all of this area of the ice above the shoulder. And Jack's able to put that puck right up top right there. So really nice play there for New Jersey. Okay, the next thing that we're going to talk about today is when we are, again, able to capture both PKers on one side of the ice. We move it back through the flanker. And now this time the flanker might not necessarily have that shot, okay? But instead of shooting or instead of going into the bumper, we're going to look to go down to the goal line player. In particular, we're going to look at a couple of clips where the goal line player is able to stuff that puck away. So this first clip here, we're watching Toronto. Toronto's in dark, okay? And you can see right now when they have, Toronto's got the puck playing against Vancouver here, who's in white. Vancouver's in a really good, first of all, box. And so when we move the puck low to high, we got to break the plane. We got to break the plane to try to get this box moving. Okay. And so right away, as the quarterback shifts in towards the middle of the ice, you can see right here that now we've caught these two top penalty killers on the right side of the ice, and the left side of the ice now opens up. But here's the difference between these clips and the last clips that I showed you. With this clip here, now Mitch Marner's on his opposite side. So he's got an inside shot happening, right? So if we take a look, although we still have this 3-on-1 that's happening between the flanker, right? The goal line player, oops, sorry, and the bumper, right? But what we don't pretty much have is a shot through to the net, because an inside shot here, the strong side defender is really taking that away. So this is a phenomenal, phenomenal play here, both by Mitch Marner and Wayne Simmons here. Watch how both of them just back up here slightly, and we take a step off the net to be able to create this new passing lane down to the goal line player here. Really, really smart play by these two players. And then secondly, with a goal line stuff, it's really important, okay, that you keep the puck above the goal line here, and you want to quickly get your hips around the puck. All right. So now you're in a good positioning to pass or to shoot at net. And Wayne is probably one of the best players in the NHL at this. And the second thing that this guy is looking for right here, when you take a look at the backside penalty killer, so the weak side D, he's going down and he's eliminating any plays to the back net. You have two Vancouver players who are collapsing here on the bumper. So the only thing he has right now is a shot through to the net. And you're going to watch Wayne here. He's just going to roof it right over the goalie's shoulder. And wow, what a goal for Toronto in the back of the net from that goal line stuff. So this next clip here, again, we're going to look at a goal line stuff. And this time we're watching Edmonton. They're in white playing against Vancouver. Okay. So right away, we're going to see a pendulum-like rotation right here. Okay, this player was just challenging on the wall. The puck's going to get moved around the horn in this direction over here, and he's going to follow this play all the way around the horn. And when he does that, right, again, you can see that we've now caught these two forwards on the right side of the ice. And that's why we wanted to move that puck all the way around. We got all this space over here to attack. So just like the last clip, we got an outside shot happening, right? With an outside stick over here. We can easily now look to make that play down to the goal line. We can also shoot. We got a pretty good screen happening here as well. But we choose to go down to the goal line. And the goal line player quickly gets around that puck. Nice goal line stuff. And it's in the back of the net. We're going to take a look at this at slow motion again, because I want to emphasize how fast and how important it is to be able to get around this puck. So he gets right around the puck, all right, and he does an excellent job of putting that away. And again, the last thing that I just want to point out, and why this clip, I like this clip so much, the importance of your net front player. Okay, so right now he is not in that passing lane to the flanker. So what does he have to do? He just has to take a slight step off to the side here to create that passing lane. Now he gets the puck. And you can see right here, if I were to stop this clip, the weak side defenseman's taking away any play to the back door. So he just goes ahead and stuffs that puck, and it's an awesome goal there for the Oilers. Okay, the next thing that we're going to talk about is shots that are generated through your bumper. Okay, and when we're able to move the puck back to the flanker here, and we've pulled these two penalty killers over to one side of the ice, we can either go directly into the bumper for a quick shot on net, or we can go indirect down through the goal line player into the bumper. And a lot of times when the goal line player picks up the puck and they're not able to stay above the goal line, this is when the play back to the bumper really, really opens up. So I have just a couple clips here to be able to show you this. So again, we got Toronto here is playing against Vancouver. Puck's going to pop out. Okay, and Toronto gets the puck here, and you can see that Vancouver right now, okay, they're in a stacked position, pendulum-like rotation. So really, they're right in the middle of the ice. They're not really caught on one side or the other, but you can see all the white ice on both sides of the perimeter of the ice here. And so Toronto's going to end up moving this puck this way, okay? So they end up moving the puck down the ice. And again, here's our 2-on-1 that's happening. We got an outside shot, outside shot. It's almost a 3-on-1, I'll point out also with our bumper. But we're going to have this player right here. Flanker's going to move the puck down, and Wayne is not able to collect this puck right here above the goal line. You're going to see that he's going to end up collecting it below the goal line. So because he collects it below the goal line, he obviously doesn't have a goal line stuff. Really, the only play that he has is he can either control the puck and spread the PK out again by moving the puck low to high, or he can make this little nice play into the bumper for a quick release shot on net. And here, that's exactly what he does. I'll just rewind this for a second. Puck's going to come down, nice little play to the middle, and a great look for Toronto. Unfortunately, they just don't score there. So one more clip of that. And this one's slightly different than the other one. This time we're going to go directly, we're going to try to go directly into the bumper. Okay, so quarterback's got the puck here. And right here, we can see that we got these two guys are caught on the left side of the ice or the right side of the ice over here. So we're going to attack all of this white ice that's out here for us. So we're going to move the puck down here over to the left side of the ice. And as we do that, instead of going obviously into the goal line player into the bumper, we're just going to feed the puck right through to the bumper here for a quick shot on net. And then obviously the Islanders get a really good opportunity, but we're gonna show you that one more time because this is key and something I think a detail that is really, really important with your bumper. Okay, so whenever you try to feed your bumper here in the middle of the ice, a common mistake that your bumper makes is they end up backing up too much and they get too tight to this weak side forward, and it makes this player's job really easy to lift your stick. So what you want to do, you want to talk to your players about number one, you want to get inside positioning between one, two, three, four players. Notice how we got Drysdale 29 right here. He's inside positioning on all four of these players, but he's just off of the back side of these two front players. And that is going to allow him the time and space that he is going to need in order to get his shot off on net. So last thing that we're going to talk about with plays that are generated through the flanker here is when we're able to move the puck to the flanker down to the goal line, and now we're going to look to move that puck back door. So a couple of clips here to show you a couple of those plays. So here we have Toronto. Again, they're in blue, okay, playing against Vancouver. All right, they're going to get control of the puck. First thing we want to do, all right, instead of right here, you can see Vancouver's in a good box. We got to get that puck to the middle of the ice. All right, we want to get them stacked. And now, right now, you can see that we've pulled the top two penalty killers over towards the left side. So we want to attack this white ice here where all the blue shade is. We move the puck back to the opposite side of where those two forwards are. And now, little tiny detail, okay, when the flanker gets the puck here, we want to read this player. Okay, you can see the 3-on-1 that we have happening right here with the flanker, the bumper, and the goal line player against this player. There's the 3-on-1. But his stick is taking away passes directly into the bumper. So what do we have? Well, we have a pass down to the goal line, and I'm going to play this out, all right? And then you're going to see the goal line player is just going to slide this puck back door here to Mitch Marner, who's wide open. And unfortunately, they're not going to score on this. It's just out of the reach of Mitch Marner here. I'm just going to rewind this so you can see this again. Okay, it's just out of his reach, but is he able to make a nice play, moves the puck back across the Royal Road, and at least get a pretty good look at the net there. So one more look at trying to feed the back door here. This is Toronto. They're in white this time, playing against Calgary. Again, first step for a quarterback is we want to get to that middle of the ice, right? We want to make sure that we break that plane. And then again, as we're doing this, you can see that we've captured these two guys more so on the left side of the ice. So we want to attack this blue ice right here that becomes available to us. So now when Toronto gets this, okay, we can clearly see this 3-on-1 between our flanker, our bumper, and our goal line player against this D. And I love this clip because Mitch Marner is such a smart hockey player. He draws the puck down and he's going to pull this defenseman out towards him. And then he's going to slip this puck down through to Wayne Simmonds. And Wayne's just going to touch it back door to Matthews. And you can see, look at all these guys here on Calgary, right? Not one of those players is looking at Matthews on the back door here. So just going to rewind this here. and let it run out. There's the play down to the goal line and a little pass back door, and it's in the back of the net. Really nice play there by Toronto. Okay, so the one thing that I talked about is when you're up against a pendulum like rotation, right? You're not going to have those through passes. But if you're playing against a piston like type of a rotation or diamond, okay, that's often when you use that kind of piston like movement, then you're going to generate different types of through passes from flanker to flanker. Okay. And a lot of times you're either going to be able to split the top two penalty killers and be able to move the puck right through between the two of them, or you might be able to find the lane underneath those top two penalty killers. So let's take a look at a couple of those against a penalty kill that ends up rotating more piston like. So here we go, guys. So this time we're watching New Jersey. They're in red. They're playing against Buffalo. Buffalo's in white here. All right. And they're going to get control of the puck here. They move low to high. And the quarterback here is going to end up going back to the strong side flanker. And so here's the piston like rotation. Okay. So we're going to have the strong side forward is going to come out at this player. And what's going to happen is we're going to repeat pass the puck back to the quarterback, and now you're going to see this player come out at the quarterback. Okay, so a little bit of repeat passing here to get these guys moving right there, and boom, now that's when you're able to split these two penalty killers and find the seam from flanker to flanker. Okay, so just going to rewind that again so you can see that anytime you have that piston action happening, that's when you're going to open up seams from flanker to flanker. Now I'm going to stop this here because unfortunately, this player right here, that he's not able to collect the puck very well and get his shot off. But had he have gotten his shot off, and he doesn't, all right, look at all the net that he has, okay, to be able to score this goal. Fortunately, they reset, they make another good play, and they end up capitalizing on the power play there. But you can see how those through passes will open up. And I have one more clip here, and this is Toronto. They're in white, playing against Calgary is in red. And you're going to see now as they move this puck, the rotation, okay, it's going to be piston like. So we had this player was out challenging the quarterback as they move the puck around the horn. Instead of this player right here continuing around the horn, right, they're now acting more like a piston like. So this player is going to come out, this player is going to go back. The one thing I will say is that on this, okay, Mitch Marner has an outside shot in this clip. Had he been a lefty, he probably will be able to make a play through by splitting these two guys. But because he's an outside shot here, when he gets the puck, he just draws the puck down a little bit more, and now he finds that seam play underneath to Matthews. With Matthews, he's such a prolific goal scorer. I mean, it's on his stick, off his stick, and it's in the back in the net. Awesome goal for Toronto. So the last thing that I want to talk to you guys about today is shots that are generated through your quarterback and how to find the lane or how to create a lane for your quarterback to be able to shoot the puck. And one of the things that how to do that is when your flanker gets the puck, essentially your flanker over here wants to pull the penalty kill down with him as he pulls the puck in towards the offensive zone here, and hopefully they're going to pull this strong side penalty killer with them. And then subsequently, what you want to see is your quarterback then wants to try to get into this lane between the strong side forward and the weak side forward to find this shot on net. And honestly, you can do this whether it's you're facing a pendulum like type of rotation or whether you're facing a more of a diamond and a piston like type of a rotation. Either way, you can generate this off of both of these. Okay, but it's the importance of this player, your flanker, drawing this strong side penalty killer down away in order to create this lane to the net for your quarterback to take this shot. So here we go. This is Toronto. They're in white playing against Calgary. Calgary's in red, and Toronto's going to get the puck back. And right here, okay, you're going to see Matthews is going to try to pull this top penalty killer down. Okay, and while he does that, now the quarterback is going to try to get into that lane, find the lane right there between these two top penalty killers. And take a shot on net. And right here, you can see how he came from this side of the ice and was able to jump into the lane between these two penalty killers right here. And we got a great net front presence happening there for Toronto. So just going to obviously rewind it here for a second. There he is finding that lane, a good shot on net. But unfortunately, this one doesn't go in, but still really good luck for Toronto. Um, Another clip here. This time we're going to watch Buffalo. They're in white, okay, playing against Washington. Washington's in red. And on this clip, so right here, you can see this flanker right here. His job is he's going to try to pull this top penalty killer down with him. And as he does that, the quarterback is then going to try to find this lane between the two top penalty killers. Okay, so we'll watch this. He pulls it down, puck comes back, and it's in the back of the net before you know it. So we're going to watch this slow motion. Okay, so again, we're going to have this player right here. This flanker is going to try to pull this player down right with them. Okay, and as they do that, pull the player down, boom, I can make a little mark here. Here's the lane to the net. Okay, and we have the quarterback just gets his stick into this lane to be able to take the shot. And the last thing that I just want to show and point out here is Stahl right here in front of the net front presence. Okay, awesome job, number one, screening the goalie. But sometimes, like when you're screening the goalie, like sure you want to be able to tip pucks down, but you also want to teach your players how to be a leaky goalie. So as this shot comes, watch Stahl just get out of the way here and let the puck go by him, and the goalie doesn't even see it, and it's in the back of the net. And then the last clip, this is the last clip I have to show you about trying to find the lane, is the use of deception, okay, within your quarterbacks or your players to be able to create lanes. So we're going to watch here. The Islanders are in white here, playing against New Jersey. The Islanders are going to move it back. And right away, this guy, right, first motion is towards the middle of the ice. We want to try to break that plane. So as he's coming across here, watch the deception, okay? So he's selling everything. He's looking over to this weak side flanker here or strong side flanker here. He's got his blade going here. He's got the strong side penalty killer already biting on that, thinking that he's going to do that. And now he's just going to do a little backhand toe drag to be able to create the lane between the top two penalty killers right here. So you see him back, right, to forehand. There's the lane and the shot on net with a good right here net front presence. So we're just going to rewind that again and just keep your eye on the quarterback here and how well he's able to use deception, boom, right, to create that lane. And we have a really good opportunity at net there for the Islanders. So I'm going to try to, now share with you some drills that I like to use to practice the power play, because I have probably 3 slides here to share with you, but it is so important if you want to have a good power play that your players have to get really good at knowing what are all their options. Okay, so you got to teach them all the different high options that you have, and you got to teach them all the different low options that are going to become available to them. And how I like to do the power play is I don't want to put pressure on them right away. Okay, I want to do it 5-on-0 because, and I just want to repeat things, repeat, because your players have to get really good at being able to support one another. And then secondly, they have to get really good with their puck movement. Their puck movement has to become really, really fluid, and they have to get really good with being able to get their shots off quickly. So you don't want to put pressure on them right away. All right, they got to learn their rotations first before you even attempt to put any type of pressure on them. Okay, so with a lot of these drills, again, I'll take 1 or 2 different looks, so 1 or 2 sequences. And what we'll do, we end up with a pile of pucks here that where we start all these drills the same way, pile of pucks on the hash on both sides of the ice. And we'll do 1 or 2 sequences from the left side of the ice, so 2 reps total. And then we'll end up doing 2 reps from the right side of the ice because I want our power play to be a threat from both sides of the ice, not just one side of the ice. All right. So, and I want our players to have the confidence to be able to attack from either side of the ice. And a lot of those clips that I showed you, especially from Toronto, I'm a huge Toronto fan, like you see them attacking from both sides of the ice. It's not just one side or the other, right? So it's really important that when you're working your power play, get your players to have the confidence to be able to attack out of both sides of the ice. So Here, I'll share with you a couple of things that I like to do with our players. So I always like to start with high sequences or the high options, and I'll start with shots that are generated from our quarterback. Okay, so all these drills are start the exact same way, where your flanker's got the puck on the half wall, and as a coach right here, I like to put a little bit of pressure top down. So now our penalty killers are working a little release play. Okay, your flanker is going to release the play into the bumper. Bumper's going to release it quickly up top. And now your quarterback is going to look to try to break the plane. And as they're breaking the plane, if you can catch a PKer right outside, if you get the inside positioning on the strong side PKer, you might have a shot on net. So that's this first sequence, right? We start with the coach providing a little bit of top down pressure, little release play, puck goes up to the quarterback gets inside positioning, quick shot on net. All four players on the power play then collapse to try to put the rebound in, other than the quarterback. The quarterback is your safety. And then you have a quick play at the net, obviously, off any kind of a rebound. Coach blows the whistle, and now your power play is going to reset again. Now they're going to come back over to the half wall. You're going to pick up a second puck, and now you're going to do your second sequence. Okay. So again, your coach is going to provide this top down pressure, release the puck into the bumper up to the quarterback. This time, the quarterback is going to try to break the plane. But as they do that, now we're going to follow the gray lines here. The quarterback is going to move the puck all the way around the horn to the opposite flanker. The flanker is going to work on that splitting the two PKers, where we haul the puck down into the zone and try to get the top penalty killer to go with us. And now we repeat, pass the puck back to the quarterback, who jumps into that lane between the strong side penalty killer and the weak side penalty killer for a quick shot on net. So again, we'll do the first rep, the second rep from this side. Each time after you do a rep, coach blows the whistle, you reset, and then you'll do two quick ones from the other side. So four total, and it's all about repetition, repetition, repetition. The next thing that I'll teach our players is to generate shots through your flanker. Okay, so on this one again, we're looking at the right side of the picture over here. It starts the exact same way as we did over here on the left side, where you're going to have a coach pressure the flanker top down. We release it into the bumper. We get the puck up top. This time, when the quarterback obviously looks to break the plane, we come back to the strong side flanker for a quick shot on net. Again, everybody looks to try to put the rebound away. If it's there, coach blows the whistle. The power play unit resets. We pick up puck number two, do the exact same start. When the quarterback gets the puck, instead of going back this time to the flanker, now we're going to watch the blue lines. This time we're going to move the puck all the way around the horn, and we're going to find the through pass over to the flanker for a second shot on net. Again, everybody collapses at the net. Coach blows the whistle, and now we're going to reset from the other side of the ice, doing sequence one, and then immediately following by two. So four reps total, really, really fast, and hopefully your players get quick and good at it. The next thing that I like to teach out of the high options, and we're going to start here on the right side of the ice, is just plays we're able to generate shots through to the bumper. So again, everything starts the same way. This time, when our quarterback breaks the plane here and we come back to the flanker, we're looking to move the puck into the middle of the ice here for a bumper to either take a one-timer or a redirect, depending upon the handedness of our bumper. Okay, again, everyone quickly collapses at the net, aside from the quarterback looking for a quick rebound. Coach blows the whistle, and now we're resetting, grabbing a second puck. On the second puck, okay, everything starts the same way. This time, when the quarterback breaks the plane, instead of going back to the flanker, now we're looking to move the puck all the way around the horn, and now we come into the bumper again for a one-timer or redirect, depending upon the handedness of that player. And then we repeat everything, exact same thing from the other side of the ice. So there's four reps total. And then the last thing that I like to teach our players is just the importance of adding a little bit of movement and rotation into their options. Okay, so on this one over here, again, everything, so we're now looking at the left side of the screen here. Everything starts the same, right? Where we do a little release play into the bumper, we get it up top to the quarterback. This time the quarterback moves it back to the flanker, and the flanker initiates movement. So the flanker is now going to rotate into the middle of the ice right here to try to break the plane. And while they're doing that, the quarterback is going to escape in behind them. We're going to repeat puck, pass the puck back to the quarterback for a quick shot on net for shot number one. All right. Then obviously we collapse at the net. We try to put the rebound away. Coach blows the whistle. We reset. Same thing where the quarterback starts to look to break the plane here. We go back to the flanker. The flanker initiates. So the flanker draws the puck to the middle. The quarterback falls in behind. But this time, instead of moving it back to the quarterback, now we kick the puck all the way around the horn to the opposite side flanker. And now this flanker looks for the through play to the QB for that second shot on net. Again, we'll do 2 from the right, 2 from the left, always 4 reps. And then the last thing is I'll teach our low rotation. So this is the last thing that I have for you, everybody. And I'll start with the right side of the ice here. And on this sequence pattern, there's actually 3 shots. So again, everything starts the same. We're generating our offense here through the flanker. This time when we go down to the goal line, shot number 1 is going to end up being a goal line stuff. Collapse at the net, coach blows the whistle. We reset ourselves up. We obviously quick release play, get the puck up to the bumper again. We come across the ice, we go back to the strong side flanker. And this time when we go down to the goal line, we look to move the puck into the bumper for our second shot on net. Okay, we end up resetting again. And now the third shot, once we go down to that goal line player, this time we're moving it obviously to the back door for our backside flanker to be able to put that puck away. So in this sequence, we have obviously 3 reps that are happening, but we'll do 3 from the left, again, 3 from the right. And the last thing that I'll teach our players is again, we'll go over to this left side of the picture here, is just, how to rotate down low. A lot of times when your goal line player ends up getting the puck, if they are below the goal line and, they might not have an option, they might not be able to, um, you know, move the puck into the bumper or the back door or do a goal line stuff. So we'll teach them to either reset by moving the puck again low to high, or what we'll have them do is a little rotation. So now our goal line player will uh, come up out of the zone into the flanker position. Flanker will rotate to the middle. Bumper will rotate to the net. We'll try to generate any kind of a quick play, either a shot from as the goal line player is rotating up, or a quick play to the middle for a redirect play there. But again, if nothing's there, like it's just a bit of a rotation. Anytime you rotate, it causes confusion, and now we can move that puck to spread the PK out, move it back up to the quarterback and start something anew. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the presentation. The one thing with all of these drills, right, is when your players get really, really good at it, then you can do a whole bunch of different combinations, right? So you can do one combination from sequence once, 1 and 2. You can do one combination from sequence 2 and 3, or 3 and 4, whatever it might be. So you can do, you can have 6, say, different looks where you're doing 6 reps from one side of the ice, if that makes sense, and then 6 reps from the other side of the ice. But it's just so important that your players get good at knowing what their options are, then use video to highlight where things are going to open up. Now after that, that's when you can apply a little bit more pressure, where you can do 5-on-2s or 5-on-3s or 5-on-4s with your power play. But it takes time. And the one thing that I've learned about the power play is the importance of repetition. So again, hope you guys enjoyed everything. We'll see here if we have any questions. I'll just go up to the Q&A box. I see we just have a couple. So the first question is, what type of D did the Canadian Olympic team play? So what type of D did the Canadian Olympic team play? So are you asking about our type of D? With our power play, I believe we ended up using 4 forwards and 1 D back there. And we did a whole bunch of different things in terms of where that D was. Sometimes our D would act as the quarterback. Sometimes we felt like our D was in a good position to be able to rotate and play the flanker role. But we had a lot of motion within our power play, which ended up creating a lot of confusion for our opponents. And the other thing about that is I think that our players really like that. They gave them the freedom to be able to rotate into different positions. But our D in general were very, very, very offensive minded players. So now I hope I answered your question there. But we'll go on to the next one. What is your thoughts on having both flanks having the same shot hand? For example, having one flank being a one-time option and one flank skating downhill. Yeah, you know what? I think whatever works for you. Sometimes yeah, when you get to, I think when you get to the NHL level, you have so many good players. You can be a little bit more picky as far as players playing in different positions. Like I said, you have Toronto there. Sometimes you have Mitch Marner on his forehand side. Sometimes he's on his one timer side. But I think you got to go with your best players. Whoever you're again, who are the players that really understand how to read those penalty kill movements, because the lanes and the opportunities that are going to open up for you is going to be dependent upon the players that have really, really good reading or reacting skills. So I hope I answered that question for you. Um, Next question here. When you're teaching power play to kids U12 and younger, do you think it makes sense to create specific units for the power play, or just keep them with their current lines and put players in certain power play positions so that you can teach the whole team power play concepts? Even at the college level, even at the Olympic level, we initially start off, everybody's on the power play. I mean, because you never know, you never really know what you have until you give everybody a fair look, and the one thing is you want to constantly, for me at least, I know different coaches have different philosophies around this, but I think it's really important. You get somebody who ends up being injured, or, your power play just isn't clicking. I think it's so important to be able to change things up. And if you haven't been teaching this to everybody, well, then obviously, you're going to be up the creek there without a paddle. So I think it's really important that you teach everybody all the different aspects of all the different positions. And you know what? I also think you end up getting a ton more buy-in from your players. So thank you for your question. So next question here is, what penalty would work best to counter the power play system? Well, the one thing is that in the NHL, you see a lot of that pendulum-like rotation, and one of the main reasons for that is that, remember this, if we take a look over here, I'll try to draw it out. Um, Let me just get out of this. So this person here, that pendulum-like rotation with that middle person fixing through the middle, is to deny those through passes, and one of the reasons why you see that a lot in the NHL is because, of course, anytime you move that puck east to west, when you have players that can really shoot off the puck and get their shots off quickly, again, when that puck moves across that royal road, your chances of scoring increases 10%, right? So that's why you see in the NHL a lot of this pendulum-like rotation happening, because we're going to keep somebody locked through the middle to prevent that from happening. So I hope that answered your question there, Julian. Thanks so much. And then next question here is, what are your thoughts around using 2 or 3 units? Yep, power play 1 unit, power play 2 unit, and then going with 4 forwards versus 3. Yeah, like I said, I often will go with 4 forwards versus the traditional 3 and 2, but it just kind of depends on your power play personnel. And again, who's got some, your best reading reacting skills, who are the players that have really good shots that can move the puck swiftly. That's going to all come into it, and one thing I will say, that is, whatever power play you start off at the beginning of the year, I don't think I've ever seen a power play stay consistent from the beginning of the year to the end. You always have people switching in and out of that. Um, but I like the idea of having 3 units. Um, with the national team, we would always, because sometimes if one first unit, second unit might not necessarily be clicking. And I think it's important that you have a third unit to keep those two units accountable. We would always try to put our third unit out if we had any kind of a change happening with like 30 seconds or less, or sorry, 20 seconds or less. That third unit automatically knew that they were going out. So I'm a true believer in having more players understand and know, how to execute on the power play than having fewer. Next question here. So this is great. Thank you, Coach Shu. Thank you, Meredith, for saying that. Can you talk about how you teach plan for retrievals on the power play from a shot, face-off, loss? Yeah, there's different types of things that you can obviously do. So let's just try to put here our typical lineup here as we um, do a face-off. So we got a flanker, say we have a goal line player, and we're like this. So um, for me, I want to get two players on the puck right away. So on a loss, obviously, if this puck gets lost back to the corner and we have a defender on that, then for us, we want to cut off the wall, and then our center is going to come in here. So we're basically, denying any kind of outs that this penalty killer can make. And what's really, really important is that you don't get picked by this player right here. So on any kind of a loss, it's like you got to teach your player the importance of trying, because basically a lot of units are going to move their weak side defender over here and try to move that puck east to west, right? So you want to prevent that from happening. So you can't get picked by this player, and you just want to try to get that inside positioning. And then again, you want to try to double down on this puck right away so that we can do a quick little out to our flanker or bumper, whoever's in this position. And again, this doesn't have to be the bumper. It's just the first two are hard on that puck, and whoever ends up being in the support position. So now we can release that puck up top and everybody can reset themselves. Another thing is just, I think something that I talked to you guys a little bit about, and I'll quickly go over this, is anytime, again, you have, let's just say the puck is on the half wall and you have somebody doing this top down pressure, right? Well, when you have this top down pressure happening, it's so important to be able to release the puck into the bumper, and now you can move that puck up top. So that's how all of those different drills that I just showed you start. If your defender ends up pressuring the puck from bottom, right, up, then you can release the puck here into the bumper and move it quickly down to the goal line and try to create options from the goal line. So your release plays are really, really important. I hope that answered some of your questions there, Meredith, and I appreciate everybody being a part of today's presentation. So I think that's all the questions that we have. Our next episode of Finding the Details is going to be on Wednesday, March 31st at 3 p.m. Eastern. And we're going to be talking about puck possession and release play. So I already kind of showed one of them that I was talking about on the power play, but just how important those release plays are in order to increase the total amount of time that you have with the puck. I think that contributes to success. So in the meantime, just want to support, we have with the coaches site global skills showcase coming up March 22nd and 26th. So hopefully everybody can tune into the showcase there and get something from that. And as well, just want to wish all the NCAA teams the very best of luck. The women's hockey teams that are going into playoffs this weekend, just want to wish everybody the best of luck, as well as just want to give a shout out to the professional women's players association who are going into their secret dream gat tour this upcoming weekend in Chicago. Definitely excited to watch those games. So to everybody, thanks again so much for joining in, and we will see you on Wednesday, March the 31st. Take care, everybody. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye bye.